Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? Let's get back to Iraq because people are asking the obvious question. Wasn't Iraq released from Chapter 7 back in 2013? Yes. Yes, it was. Partially. And that's causing a lot of confusion. So let's cover what has happened over the last couple of days because all of it is great news for Iraq and great news for individuals who are investing into Iraq. Before we get started, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button. And if you're not a subscriber, please do so because when you do, it helps out the channel and I surely do appreciate it. If you're thinking about buying gold and silver, and you should, silver's about to reach $25 an ounce, please consider our friends over at Money Metals Exchange. The link is down below in the description. If you are a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and you will get a free half ounce of silver. So there's a lot of talk about Iraq being released from Chapter 7 United Nations charters. I've got videos where people are like, they were released back in 2013. Yeah, I know. I did a report about it. But I love how people go through there and they just say, well, they were released from Chapter 7 back in 2013, but don't dig any further than that. They were only partially released. We'll cover that here in a minute. So Al-Kadhimi's advisor, Iraq is facing a global technological openness after leaving the 7th chapter. Get ready. Being released from Chapter 7 means Iraq is now open for business on the international scene, meaning the economical growth in Iraq is about to take off. Now, keep in mind, I know a lot of us here in the United States, I don't know about other countries, we got to keep in mind that the currency is still under restriction until they lift it. That's a whole different story. I remember people telling me they used to be able to buy and sell Iraqi Dinar in Wells Fargo. I went to go talk to the manager there to ask what the process is once I get ready to go make my exchange. He told me at the moment it's under restriction. They don't buy nor sell Iraqi Dinar. I already understood that. But he said he's got to wait to the powers that be, which is corporate office, tell them that it's okay to do so again. And that they were under restriction at the time. No problem. So I told him I would check in with them from time to time to see when those restrictions would be lifted. As soon as I find out, I will share with you. The advisor to Prime Minister Saleh identified the most prominent positive effects after Iraq's exit from Chapter 7, while noting that this would expand regional economic cooperation. That's what we're looking for. Saleh said Iraq's return to the international community, free from the restrictions imposed by Chapter 7 of the United Nations charters since 1990, is an important victory for the Iraqi people and for Iraq diplomacy, noting that this will enable the Iraq state to deal with the world without harsh restrictions and limitations spanning more than 30 dang years. He added that Iraq, the government, and the people is today the foundation of freedom and peace in the region and the world. Well, I wouldn't go too far there, Sparky. Right now, ISIS has started to really turn things up, and they're not really covering in the news. Let's hope that, once again, ISIS does not rear their ugly head and cause Iraq to backslide. He added that the Iraq government and the people is today the foundation of peace in the region of the world, noting that the new openness of the world to Iraq and the lifting of all restrictions, represents a technological and scientific process that our country will witness while it is free of obstacles and high costs imposed on it in the movement of its economy with the world. He added that this will open the international business environment to Iraq in a country that has become free from the cost of political and other risk, noting that Iraq is looking forward to developing bilateral economic relations and opening them up to the state of Kuwait and all countries in the region. He stressed that regional economic cooperation will take a wide range of promoting positive economic interactions, especially expanding investment opportunities and joint cooperation for the happiness of the Iraq people and dinar holders and all peoples of the region. Earlier, the United Nations Council issued Resolution 2621, which confirmed Iraq's fulfillment in all of its international obligations under Chapter 7 and results in the exit from Chapter 7 with immediate effect and the closure of Compensation Committee Fund at the end of the year. So congrats to Iraq, all restrictions lifted. So yes, back in 2013, Iraq was removed from Chapter 7. As you can clearly see in these articles, they were not fully removed. See here, unanimously adopted Resolution 2107, 2013. Security Council removes Iraq from Chapter 7 obligations over return of Kuwait's nationals. So where is the confusion? What are people talking about? Well, when you go and read the resolution, they were partially removed from Chapter 7. The parts that they removed out of Chapter 7, they put into Chapter 6. So it says unanimously adopted in Resolution 2107-13, which I have pulled up. 15 members welcome the Security General's report, goes on, blah, blah, blah. So what were they removed from? Right here it talks about it. Well, only part of it was. Yeah, part. So, Security Council Resolution 2107-2013 on the situation between Iraq and Kuwait, with considerations to the provisions of the Chapter 6 of the Charter of the United Nations on Pacific settlements of disputes. When you come down here to paragraph 3, decides under Chapter 7 of the Charter of the United Nations to terminate the measures. So these are what was removed out of Chapter 7 on behalf of Iraq. It says unanimously adopted Resolution 2107, 2013, Security Council removes Iraq from Chapter 7 obligations over return of Kuwaiti nationals. That's the part that they were removed from. So if you look at 2107, 2013, you scroll down here, the full text of the resolution. What we're looking for is, look at this, recalling, there's things they cover, but what we're trying to get to is this, decides. So what was decided in this resolution? Real simple. Decides under Chapter 7 of the Charter of the United Nations to terminate the measures in paragraph 2C, 2D, 3C of Resolution 686. The problem is you can't find it here, but I found it here. Decides under Chapter 7 of the Charter of the United Nations to terminate the measures in paragraph 2C, 2D, 3C of Resolution 686, 1991. Resolution 686. So this is Chapter 2. What is C? Immediate release under the auspices of International Committee of the Red Cross Societies or Red Cross Crescent Societies, all Kuwait and third state nationals detained by Iraq and return the remains of any deceased Kuwaits and the third state nationals so detained. What they want is the return of the bodies for the people who were killed, the property, and return of any prisoners. That was stricken out of Chapter 7 and moved into Chapter 6. You go to paragraph D, it says immediately begin to return all Kuwait properties seized by Iraq, the return to be completed in the shortest possible time. Stricken from here and moved from Chapter 7 into Chapter 6. Chapter 3, Section C, arrange for immediate access to and release of all prisoners of war under the auspices of the International Committee of the Red Cross, return the remains of any deceased personnel of the forces of Kuwait and the member states cooperating with Kuwait pursuant to Resolution 678. Removed off Chapter 7, moved into Chapter 6. The other portion was paragraph 30 of Resolution 687. Paragraph 30 of 687. Here we go. We got Resolution 687. Scroll down to paragraph 30. They want the whole paragraph stricken from chapter 7 and put over to chapter 6. In the furtherance of its commitment to facilitate the reparations of all Kuwaiti and third state nationalists, Iraq shall extend all necessary cooperations to the International Committee of the Red Cross by providing lists of each person's facility, the access of the International Committee to all such persons wherever located or detained, and facilitating the search by the International Committee for those Kuwait and third state nationals still unaccounted for. So like I said, it says under Chapter 7 of the Charters, United Nations, to terminate the measures in paragraph 2C, 2D, which we covered, 3C we covered, and paragraph 30 of 687, and the arrangement set forth in paragraph 14 of Resolution 1284, and the arrangement set forth in paragraph 14 of Resolution 1284. Click it. Paragraph 14, request the Secretary General to report to the Council every 4 months on compliances by Iraq with its obligation regarding the repatriation and the return of all Kuwaiti and third country nationals or their remains, to report every 6 months on the returns of all Kuwait property, including archives seized by Iraq, and to appoint a high-level coordinator for these issues. In 2013, this is what Iraq was released from in Chapter 7. This is the one that came out the other day that releases the rest of it altogether. So what's it say right here? Earlier, the United Nations Council issued resolution number 2621 on February 22, which confirms Iraq's fulfillment of all international obligation under Chapter 7 and results in its exit from Chapter 7 with immediate effect and closure of the Compensation Committee. There you go, it's right here. They are now fully out of Chapter 7. And of course, I come back to this paragraph where it says, he added that Iraq, the government, and the people is today the foundation of freedom and peace in the region and the world, noting that the new openness of the world to Iraq and the lifting of all restrictions represents a technological and scientific progress that the country will witness, on and on and on. So either way, here's the thing. The only thing that matters is this. The only thing that matters is that Iraq is out of Chapter 7, period. Restrictions are lifted. They're looking forward to joining the rest of the international community in working together and strengthening their economy. And a strong economy means what? A strong dinar. A strong dinar means what? A valuable dinar. And a valuable dinar means what? A better exchange rate. Anyways, that's it for now. I just wanted to cover that real quickly and share that with you. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. And if you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. And I'll catch you later. I'm out.